Yeah, we got tons. Never leave home without it. Andy, what's that envelope on the ground?
How you doing, man? Okay. All right, thank you so much.
It's
Mike level. Mike level? Yeah, I'm sorry. Here's now we have right now. We get to an audio track.
Audio test again. Are you plugged in? Check. Hey, oh, the mic will be back here.
It's like the movies.
You got levels? Check. Hey, thumbs up. I'm gonna power it down for now.
Put your camera away. Yeah, hey John, I'm gonna find her a hat for a press conference.
then he picked
So we'll do our best. Hopefully, you may still get blanked out.
Perfect, thank you, John. All right, man, take it back.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here. My name is Leticia Castillo, and I'm the Assemblywoman who represents District 58 out in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. And I am the author of Assembly Bill 1998. For me, this bill starts with a very simple principle: protecting women and protecting womanhood in spaces where privacy and dignity matter the most. Restrooms, locker rooms, and changing areas are places where women and girls are often vulnerable or in vulnerable situations. Sometimes they are undressed, sometimes with their children, and expecting the most basic level of privacy. I believe it is the responsibility of lawmakers to ensure that expectation is protected. When I became aware of the incident involving Tish Hyman at a Los Angeles gym, I knew I had to take action. What she experienced sparked a statewide conversation about privacy in women's spaces and highlighted the fact that our law currently lacks clear guidance for businesses and for the public. The moment made something very evident. The law has become confusing, and when the law is unclear, it is women who often lose the most basic protections. That is why I introduced Assembly Bill 1998. AB 1998 clarifies California's law by ensuring that intimate spaces in business establishments, such as restrooms, locker rooms, showers, and changing areas, are separated on the basis of biological sex, while still allowing single occupancy facilities to remain gender neutral. This bill does not require businesses to rebuild their facilities. It does not eliminate equal access to public accommodations. What it does is provide clear guidance that protects privacy while maintaining fairness and dignity for everyone. But more broadly, this bill reflects something I think many Californians are feeling right now. It is time to return to common sense in California. Not every issue needs to be a political battlefield. Sometimes the right thing to do is simply the obvious thing to do. And I would ask everyone to think about this personally. We all have mothers, we all have daughters, sisters, wives, and friends. Ask yourself a simple question. Would you want them feeling unsafe or uncomfortable in a space where they are most vulnerable? Of course not. Protecting the privacy of women and girls in these spaces should not be controversial. It should be common sense. I urge my colleagues to support this measure and I demand that the legislators set this bill for a hearing in committee so that the people's voices can be heard. Thank you. And I want to ask Aaron Friday to come up.
Thank you so much. My name is Erin Friday. I am the president of Our Duty, an advocacy group protecting women, children, and families against gender ideology. I was a 30-year Democrat and switched parties because my party has denied biological reality and are placing females into dangerous situations. We say no more. Sex and gender identity cannot coexist. There must be a hierarchy, and since sex is immutable, it must always trump gender identity, a belief system based on an individual's self-determination. Otherwise, there will be discrimination against sex, in particular, discrimination against females. I want to introduce you to Johnny Skinner. This is Johnny, and he was a trans-identified woman for many years. But Johnny never stepped foot in a woman's bathroom, locker room, spa, or other intimate space because he knew that the females did not want him in those spaces. And he was safe in the male spaces despite having the presentation of a female. So it's a fallacy that men who identify as trans are somehow unsafe in their own spaces. But it's not a fallacy that females with trans-identified males in their spaces are safe, because they're not, and you're going to hear about that today. So we ask, we cajole, we beg that the people in power remember that women and females need safety. Thank you so much. I believe you're going to.
I want to introduce Senator Alvarado Gil.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember Castillo, and thank you for having us today. I'm Senator Maria Alvarado Gil, representing the Senate 4th District and my colleagues in the Republican caucus. We stand committed to protecting the dignity, safety, and privacy of all our communities, especially those where access to public facilities can feel even more personal and vulnerable. Yes, we're talking about girls and women. Assembly Bill 1998 is a crucial piece of legislation to protect those girls and women. This bill cuts through the confusion in our current laws to ensure that intimate spaces in business establishments like bathrooms, locker rooms, showers, and changing areas are separated based on an individual's assigned gender at birth. Yes, male or female. And at the same time, it keeps single occupancy restrooms gender neutral, striking a balance that will respect everyone, but more importantly, protect women and girls. So let me be clear. The Civil Rights Act, California's Unruh Civil Rights Act, has always guaranteed equal access for all, regardless of race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or sex. But in recent years, incidents like the one involving our singer Tish Hyman at Gold's Gym in Los Angeles have highlighted the growing concern. Our state has gone too far to the left and has made it dangerous for women and girls to partake in everyday activities like healthy body activities and exercise. Women and girls deserve to feel safe, and mothers deserve to believe that their daughters are safe when they are not at home. We are relying on community centers and schools to protect real people. We expect the clarity and the protection of the law here in California. This is 2026, not 1926. This bill provides straightforward guidance without mandating costly new construction. It upholds non-discrimination while affirming privacy in these sensitive settings. This is not about division. It's about basic decency protections that align with the values of our diverse and beautiful once golden state. I want to thank Erin Friday from our duty for sponsoring this bill, and Assemblywoman Castillo for her partnership, because together we are ensuring California leads with fairness and protections for girls and women under the law. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone. I want to bring up Assemblymember Carl DeMaio.
Thank you, Assemblymember Leticia Castillo. I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. Californians are fundamentally good people. There's a lot of division that political groups try to foment. They try tearing us apart. But when you get a 70 or 80% issue in today's divisive political environment, that is something that building needs to listen to and act on. It is inexcusable when you have a 70, 80, 90% issue, as this bill is, that the politicians are not doing their damn job and doing what's right. The fact that we have to have a press conference today is frustrating on this issue that everyone agrees with, outside of that narrow, divisive, politicized chamber back there. Californians believe that everyone should be treated with dignity, respect, and fairness, including our LGBT community members. As a gay Republican, I would never support a policy that treated anyone with disrespect or deprived them of fairness. This bill is about a two-way street. Trans individuals have a right to be respected and should be treated with dignity and fairness. But so do our girls. Our women deserve fairness, dignity, and respect as well. And it is not dignified nor respectful to have a biological male undress and expose himself or themselves or herself, whatever pronoun you want to use, in the presence of a minor or in a female locker room, spa, restroom. This is not acceptable, and it doesn't have to be. Now, you're going to hear inflammatory and dishonest smears about this proposal, that it's somehow anti-LGBT. But as a member of the LGBT community, I will tell you right now, a supermajority of LGBT community members support Assemblymember Castillo's bill. They realize that this is absolutely an extreme position to say that biological males should have a right to go into locker rooms, spas, and restrooms, changing rooms, showers, to cohabitate with young girls and females. We can make accommodations. This is not hard. In my own district, the City of Santee YMCA, there was an incident a few years ago where an underage girl, a minor, had the trauma of having a male expose himself to her in a communal shower. When she complained to the management of the YMCA, they attacked her. They said she was wrong, that she was hate-filled, that she was the one operating outside of the norm. They made her feel guilty for simply wanting dignity and respect and privacy in the restroom. When a community uproar ensued, the YMCA management said that state law requires that they do this. State law requires that they allow this sort of predatory behavior. That's why this bill, Assembly Bill 1998, is so desperately needed. If people out there are blaming state law, then we need to clarify state law, and that is what Assembly Bill 1998 does. It's time for us to act on this. There's no excuse for the extremism coming out of that building. I call on the colleagues on both sides of the aisle to pass this bill immediately, get it to the governor, and make sure that we send a message that our girls, our women, will be given dignity, fairness, and respect at all times. Thank you.
Next up, we're going to hear from a young woman who experienced a male in her locker room. So can I invite up Gracie Hudson, please?
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Assemblywoman Leticia Castillo for authoring AB 1998, a bill that should have never been necessary in the first place. My name is Grace Hudson, and I had to bear witness to a man who claims to be a woman masturbating I had to bear witness to a man who claims to be a woman masturbating in a bathroom stall at Planet Fitness locker room. I was utterly disgusted. My eyes were sexually assaulted. I went to Planet Fitness to work out, and when I went into the locker room, I could see a shadow on the floor of the stall that a person was stroking his erect penis. I did not want to believe my eyes. It was just so disturbing. I did not want to believe it was happening. I left the locker room to complete my workout, hoping that he would be gone. But when I returned, he was still in the stall playing with himself. The shadow was clear, and I took out my phone to get the evidence of the sexual assault and perverted behavior. I felt sick. I asked Planet Fitness employees for help, and a few of them came into the locker room so that I could show them what he was doing. They did not know what to do. I brought in my boyfriend to help get this disgusting man out of the bathroom. When they confronted the pervert, he said that he was a transgender and he had a right to be in the female bathroom. He actually tried to defend his presence in the bathroom and his behavior. I did not report it to the police, but I'm going to, because I knew that he would be seen as the victim. Because trans people can do whatever they want in California. All of the laws benefit them while harming females like myself. I also knew that I would be considered a transphobe, and this term is used to shut down females when they just ask for some dignity and safety. I was right, because when I complained to Planet Fitness management, I received a threatening letter